One of the greatest comedic minds of his generation has been cancelled from the Edinburgh Fringe because he doesn't want a naked man next to his daughter in the swimming pool changing rooms. Graham Linehan created Father Ted, the IT Crowd, Black Books. He's written jokes for Brass Eye, The Fast Show. But the biggest joke of all is that the show he was a part of, Comedy Unleashed, has now been cancelled in the name of inclusivity. Linehan is very strong when it comes to gender ideology. If he had £1 for every gender that he thought existed, he'd have £2, because there are men and women, and that's that. Anyway, he was due to perform at Leith Arches at the Fringe. Some weird trans activists complained, and the venue pulled the sold-out show and released this statement. And they are clearly not hysterical about this at all, by the way, because they say, "We would like to thank the public for bringing to our attention about a comedian who had been booked for an upcoming comedy show." And then this is in capitals. "We were not made aware of this. We do not support the comedian. They will not be allowed to perform. They have been cancelled." Yeah, I know, it is proper hysterical stuff. But, of course, they're not inclusive, are they? Quite clearly. The so-called comedy industry demonstrates the most visible sign of moral and cultural decay within society. We all know that shows like Fawlty Towers, Little Britain, things like Life of Brian, The Producers, just couldn't and wouldn't be made today. But actually at the Edinburgh Fringe this year, they have a show called Blowhole, which discusses taking the perfect bumhole selfie in the work toilets. A show called Fat, Femme and Crippled, where Alex Gibbon drives their mobility scooter in between the intersections of disability and queer culture, using their experience as a non-verbal queer person to educate and captivate. A Shark Ain't My Penis, a history of boys like me. It's a one-person musical, obviously, about the history of trans men and transition. One more, asexuality. What does it mean to be a man in the 21st century? How does toxic masculinity affect those of us assigned male at birth? Grief. Mainstream comedy is just as bad. Channel 4 had a bloke with breasts on who got his penis out and played the piano with it. It is just all absolutely degenerate stuff, isn't it? And all these comedians celebrating other comedians being cancelled. Do they not understand that it will be them next? They will say something by mistake, or the rules will change, and they will suddenly be the bad guys, or women, or the bad them. The fact is that Graham Linehan thinks women are women, and he wants to protect spaces for women and young girls. And that's what gets you cancelled. That's what it takes to cancel a man who wrote Father Ted. At least his route back to comedy will be very easy. He knows what to do. All he'll have to do is go on Channel 4, write a GCSE level poem, get a boob job and hammer a keyboard with his penis.